Hi, everyone. This is Bren with Warrior Moms by Bren and At One with Bren. We are here for the back to school guide. And just a quick recap for those who may not know me. My name is Bren Harris, and I founded Warrior Moms by Bren when my son was medically injured at 22 months of age. I was a new mom. I was devastated. I didn't know if I would ever crawl out of that pit of despair and depression at that time. Look at me now, over 10 years later, and we are thriving, not just surviving. And we have walked through hell in those 10 years. And now we walk through life like we own it. And you can too, because your story matters. Hey guys, let us know if you can see us on Instagram and on Facebook so that we know this information is arriving on your stream. We have a lot of things to talk about tonight. We're going to recap real quick. The last podcast we did last week was our first installment of the Back to School Guide. And we talked about the 4 pillars to get ready for school. Now, I am a dyed-in-the-wool, shout it from the mountaintop special needs mom. My son does not fit in the bell curve. And because he was medically injured at 22 months of age, we have had a journey. And I am a firm believer that that which doesn't kill us makes us stronger. And we are here to say, oh, hey guys, good to see you. Let us know in the chat where you're chiming in from. I am in Oklahoma. If you threw a dart at the middle of the United States, that's about where I am. And we have been in a heat wave. So it has been quite the month of August, even though this is only August 13th. Now, we are talking about some pretty sensitive things tonight. And I would like for you to understand this is not culture war. This is not political. And this is not to shame or blame anyone. I am here to teach. That's my ASL sign. That's how my son learns new words. Teach and to heal. Put your hands on your shoulders and heal, and the scoop back so you can see that. Teach and heal. Our back to school guide last week talked about prepping for school. Now, I don't know about neurotypical children, but I do know that super kids need to know what's going on. We call it the 411 at our house. We meet the teacher, we talk about it, we make sure it's a good fit, and we have been through quite a journey to find that. And he is just now entering high school, so we've been at this a while. And our first pillar in prepping for school is pray. And the next pillar of the 4, second one of 4, is plan. So here's the sign for plan. Just bring your fingers across. So pray, plan, and then we're going to connect. And you hook your fingers together and push them out. Connect. Connect with other parents, connect with other students, connect with other educators, and get in where you fit in. Just because someone says someone's a great teacher doesn't necessarily mean they're the right fit for your child. Hear my heart here. And then safety is our last one, safety. Now, because my son is diagnosed nonverbal on the autism spectrum, we do not have those things. We have a diagnosis. And hey guys, good to see you. And please let us know in the chat where you're chiming in from, because we like to know where everybody is. And I love that we can connect and not have to travel, especially after all the airplane issues this week. We're praying, we're planning, we're connecting, and we're safe. As a nonverbal student, he can't come home and tell me so-and-so touched me here or hit me here or whatever. He just comes home with bruises. And that's a real panic for a mom. And I'm learning that, hey, if this happens, you have permission to headbutt them right here, make them bleed. And if X happens, you tell a teacher right then, and you will not get in trouble. And I know a lot of people go, wow, there's a lot to think about. Well, there's even more to think about, because after we pray and plan and connect and talk about safety, that brings us into tonight's topic. Please grab a pen, write these 3 numbers down. Trust me, it'll be worth it. Hey guys, good to see you. If you are listening to this on the audio, I do use American Sign Language or ASL. That's how my son learns new words. And if you're listening to this later on the replay on an audio, you can just go to Google and look these words up. So keep in mind, I ask, let me start with an A. All right. We're not trying to stir the pot here. This is about teaching and healing. We're educating tonight. Okay. So part 2 of our back to school guide is about teaching and healing. And we are not anti anything here. At Warrior Moms by Bren, we are pro parent choice. We're going to go PPC. Okay. And so when people get really heated about these discussions, we just look at each other and go, PPC, pro parent choice. Now, I know that this will be a hot topic and maybe triggering for some people. Bear with me. We will come to an agreement by the end. Now, let me tell you a little story. When my son was in 7th grade, which was 2 or 3 years ago, we drove up to the school for his new teacher and his new school and all of this fun stuff. We had already done the pre-planning. We drive up and they say, you can't enter the building. He has not had XYZ vaccine. Now, hear me. Once I say that word, this will probably get censored on all social platforms. As soon as it posts on the replay, download it so you can share it to everyone you know. I just politely looked at her and said, you know what? I've spent 10 years learning my rights. Write that number down, 10. I've invested more than 7 figures in education and legal fees. Write number 7 down. So we've got 10, 7, and then 1. And I'm going to teach you guys in one podcast the overview of your rights being a pro-parent choice parent. All right. So we've got 10, 7, 1. 10 years it took me to learn this. And a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Thank you. Shout out to my tribe and my warriors that are fighting the good fight every single day to teach, educate, and heal our country on this hot topic. All right. So we drive up 7th grade. He's all excited. This is a brand new remodeled school. He is ready. And we get there like he can't enter the building. He doesn't have X, Y, and Z vaccines. I said, we have an exemption on file. Would you like to speak with my attorney? And I pulled my phone out just like this. And they said, well, we'll let him come to school today. So that entire day, we had some very transparent conversations with the school. And we came to an agreement that because it's the law, it's illegal for them to deny your child access to a school in the absence of vaccinations. I know, I said it. Hear me. It is illegal for any school in any 50 of our states to deny a child access to school based on their vaccine record. Now, every state in our country, all 50 states, has a medical exemption. What I want you to do is I want you to go to your state's health department and look for the vaccine exemption. Ours is called exemption certificate of exemption. I fill this out every single year. And let's back up a little bit, because we can't just say, I don't want to, or I'm too scared. We got to have a reason. All right. And for us, it's medical. And I want to encourage you, if we had known this, we might not be working on potty training at 16 years old. We may not be having to teach sign language, getting to, choosing to, love to, embracing ASL, and learning to wipe our backside at 16 years old. Now, guys, this is real. And I know neurotypical parents, they don't want to hear this. That's okay, because you guys don't know the miracle in the milestones. Today, I had an unprompted 7-word sentence from my son, and I swear the angels were singing. I mean, I was like, wow, I didn't teach him that. He said, we need to check the mailbox, Mom. And I'm like, okay. And it's so exciting. So what we did when he was in 3rd grade, we were able to do genetic testing. And that's how we found out he has a genetic marker. For the sake of this conversation, I am not board certified medical anything. I'm just a Dr. Mom. MTHFR. And I'm going to do these letters. MTHFR. We affectionately refer to this 57-letter term, medical term, as the mother trucker gene. We found out he has the double mutation. What does that mean? His body's incapable of converting folic acid, which is man-made, by the way. Please stop taking it, to folate. Yes, birth defects. Yes, you're right. I hear you, Mama. So we found out he has the double genetic mutation. What does that mean? When he has a vaccination, his body's incapable of getting rid of all the toxins, heavy metals, thimerosal, all the toxins. And they just keep recirculating, and it has damaged the speech center of his brain. I realize this is a very hot topic. Please receive, and let's meet in the middle. All right. So all 50 states have exemptions. 47 states all have medical exemptions, but not the religious or personal objection. Okay, hear me. All 50 states have medical exemptions from vaccinations for your children. If you're a grown-up, you make your own decisions. I'm talking about decisions for our children right now, okay? And yes, if you're getting value, please let us know. All heroes don't wear capes. Thank you, sweetie. Know that this is not a role I ever sought out. It was a role that was delivered on me like an avalanche. And I want you to hear me. We're not anti anything. We are pro parent choice, the best interest of the child. And if you've met one person on the autism spectrum, you've met one person on the autism spectrum. There is no one size fits all. I know relatives that can take a decongestant called Sudafed and it makes them fall asleep. If I take it, I'm awake for 3 days. Everybody is different. And because of these exemptions, parents don't know, because people at the top, when you talk about pyramid scheme, education, people at the top say one thing, then their deputy says something else, says you have to have a vaccine or we're going to expel you. And then the next person adds their own flair to that. And that is not true. Hear me, Mama. I see you and I hear you. I want this to be a safe place where you feel seen and heard. And this is a really difficult topic. So bear with me, and it will get censored. So please download it as soon as the replay posts. We're here to teach and we're here to heal. Okay. And we have an exemption that we have done as we went, and it was a very affordable test. And you can go Google it. You can go to Amazon, not sponsored at all, and just say MTHFR testing kit. And for a very nominal fee, very affordable fee, you can do the little swab in your mouth and send it off. In about a week, you have all the results. Now, here is our exact wording for the certificate of exemption. Our objection is personal objection based on genetic testing and the presence of the MTHFR double gene mutation. All further inquiries can be directed to our legal counsel on file. Since we started using that wording, not one person at any school has ever questioned our exemption form. Now, when everyone was getting sick during the pandemic, my son and I never got sick. I have had, in the last 25 years, I've had one flu vaccination. And that was 25 years ago, before I learned all of this information. I've had the flu one time, and it wasn't the one covered by the vaccine. We are here to live and go from striving to thriving. We're here to be proactive with our health, because without sick people, doctors lose their clientele. And I want you to hear me. This may not be right for you. Here, we're not anti anyone or anti-vaxxing. We are here for pro-parent choice. And we do that by teaching and educating and healing. All right. So you've heard our story where they tried to deny us access to school. Stats today. Hold on. 1 in 36 for boys are diagnosed on the autism spectrum. Let that sink in. 1 in 36. 1 in 36. Would I have ever chosen this journey? No way. Would I trade it? No way. Our goal is not to arrive at success. Our goal is in becoming. And the way we shift that is, instead of why is this happening to me? What is this trying to teach me? Some days I get it better than others. My son is 6'1". I cannot not work out. Hear me. My son is 6'1", and he just turned 16. He's not finished growing. I get to choose to love to keep becoming stronger, faster, better, healthier. Stronger, faster, better, healthier. I do not have the luxury of, oh, let's just kick back and have some wine. Oh, thanks, guys. I am doing this afraid. I don't know if I would say I'm bold. I feel compelled to let parents know you have the option. Know your rights, do your homework, due diligence, and stand for what you believe in. All right. Now we have story where they won't let us in. Then we have the exemptions where they questioned us. For years, they would send it back to us. But as soon as we started saying personal objection based on genetic testing, presence of MTHFR double gene mutation marker, all further inquiries can be directed to our legal counsel on file. You can use that word for word, my sister, because it works. And it is important that you understand education is not necessarily tailored to the individual. Even though my son has an individual education plan, it is not necessarily tailored to each individual because every child learns differently. Now, let's talk about the National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. Whew, this gets me fired up. So for the purpose of this talk, we'll call it VICP, which is Victim Injury Compensation Program. It was enacted in 1986 after several huge lawsuits. Hey guys, good to see you. And I see you in the comments. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And I am here to say props to those who have gone before me. I have so many heroes in this arena. And I know that if I follow the money in the vaccine schedules, that speaks volumes. It's a story that it speaks for itself. So do your own due diligence. Now, you've already vaccinated a child. You find out he's injured. Let's talk about the National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program, VICP, Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. It was founded in 1986 after several huge lawsuits were won against the manufacturers of vaccines for children. And this slush fund, it's a federal slush fund, has awarded, as of August 1st, 2024, $5.2 billion in compensation. Hear me. The Vaccine Injury Compensation Program, as of August 1st in 2024, has awarded $5.2 billion with a B dollars in vaccine injury compensation. Let that sink in. How many families could we feed? How many families could we help with $5.2 billion? And this fund was set up because parents were winning, suing the manufacturers. Now the manufacturers are not liable. Doesn't matter if they cause death, harm, injury, permanent, lifelong disability. It doesn't matter because they're not held liable. All right. So we have covered a lot. Remember, I've spent 10 years. That's our number one number. Write that down. 10 years and 7 figures of education and legal fees. And in one podcast, I've given you the overview. And it's really important to understand, share this. This will get censored, people. It will. And as soon as this hits on my Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, because we're streaming across all 3 platforms, as soon as this hits, download it, then share it. People you care about, your children, your children's children, and your great-grandchildren. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. And I want to encourage you. We are not anti anything. We are here for pro-parent choice, to teach, and to heal. Now, if you want to talk about sign language for medical injury, we're doing a shot in the arm, injury. So medical injury. I try to keep this to about 4 signs per podcast. And if you are listening to this on the live, please put an L. If you're listening on the replay, put an R. We're going to do L. We're going to do R. Now, Warrior Moms by Bren. We are here to be a voice for the voiceless. Hear me. A voice for the voiceless. And we will not back down. This is the hill I will live and thrive on. And I am here to let people know you have rights. You have vaccine exemption options in all 50 states for medical, in 47 states for religious and personal objection. Do your homework and know you're not alone. Be authentic, legendary, and unapologetically you. Warriors, unite.